Hi, welcome back to Let's Listen. Today, we're doing something that feels both simple and surprisingly deep, a friendly discussion on some of the most important psychological theories, but in a way that actually makes sense in daily life. Exactly. Psychological theories sound big and heavy, but honestly, they're all around us. Every time we choose, react, love, worry, or behave, we're actually following some theory without even knowing it. True. So let's begin with one of the most famous ones, behaviorism. You know, Anjali, behaviorists said something very straightforward. We act the way we do because we are shaped by rewards and punishments. Yes, and it's so true. Like, think of a child who gets a chocolate every time she finishes homework. Slowly, homework becomes a habit because the brain remembers the reward. Exactly. Even adults do this. Suppose you hit the gym and people start saying, "Hey, you're looking fitter." That compliment becomes a reward, so you keep going. That's behaviorism in daily life. Okay, next one, cognitive theory by Jean Piaget. This one says, we understand the world step by step as our thinking develops. Right, children are not mini adults. Their thinking grows in stages. For example, a toddler doesn't understand that if you hide a toy under a cloth, it's still there, but a 4-year-old understands it easily. And even adults use cognitive theory. Like when we learn a new skill, say coding or even cooking, we move from confusion, understanding, mastery, step by step. Now something everyone knows, Freud's psychoanalytic theory. Freud said our behavior is guided by hidden thoughts, feelings and memories, especially from childhood. Yes, like someone who gets very angry when ignored. Maybe it's connected to not being heard as a child. Or a person who always wants approval could be carrying an old emotional wound. It's not about blaming childhood, but understanding patterns. If you know why you react a certain way, you get better control. Next is my favorite, Humanistic theory by Carl Rogers and Abraham Maslow. This theory says every person wants to grow, become better, and reach their full potential. Yes, the famous Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We start with basic needs like food and safety, then move to belonging, confidence, and finally self-actualization, the highest stage where we live with purpose. And we see this everywhere. A schoolgirl first needs a safe home, then friends, then she starts focusing on marks, and later she dreams of becoming something big. It's a natural growth ladder. Let's bring in social learning theory by Albert Bandura. He said, we learn by watching others. Yes, children copy parents. If a father speaks politely, the child learns politeness. If a mother handles stress calmly, the child learns calmness. Even adults copy. If your friend starts journaling, you also feel like trying it. If a colleague handles criticism with grace, you learn from it. Another famous one, Erik Erikson's psychosocial development theory. This theory says our life is divided into stages, each with a challenge, like trust, independence, identity, intimacy. Right. For example, teenagers go through the identity stage, figuring out who am I? What do I want? Adults deal with intimacy, learning how to build meaningful relationships. And older people think about purpose. Did I live well? Did I contribute? Such a beautiful theory. We cannot forget classical conditioning, the experiment with Pavlov's dog. He rang a bell before giving food. Slowly, the dog started salivating just at the sound of the bell. We do this too. If you listen to a particular song during heartbreak, even years later, the same song brings the same emotion. Or the smell of an old book reminds you of school days. Exactly, that's conditioning. Let's add one more important theory, attachment theory. This one says the bond we form with our parents when we're small affects all our future relationships. Yes, if a child grows with warmth and trust, she becomes secure, confident. If she grows with fear or inconsistency, she may become anxious or distant later. And that's why understanding psychology helps us break patterns and build healthier relationships. This was actually a lovely discussion. So many theories, but all connected to real life. Yes, and that's the whole point. Psychology is not for textbooks, it's for living better. Alright, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this, do share Let's Listen with someone who loves learning. Take care, keep growing, and keep understanding yourself. See you in the next episode.